Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We're driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. I had the honor of speaking at the Luzerne County Courthouse as Kelsey Kolojejchick and Kat Sharkey, two members of the Wyoming Seminary field hockey team, were honored for making it to the Olympics and competing in 2016 in Rio.
All right, well, Karen Klassner. Karen, talk about this day today with the young ladies that are Olympians.
Just an amazing day for the county. I was happy to see them honor the girls because it's very rare that you have 4 Olympians from one area and then 2 on one team with Kat and Kelsey.
And to have so many of these girls on your team be inspired, and not just your team, but all over our area and all across our country that are inspired by players like that.
Yeah, they're just great role models for everyone in the area, and I noticed a couple of very young players here today, and I would not be surprised if some of the kids in the audience today would not be future Olympians.
And these young girls, you've been coaching for a long time, but just to see create opportunities for them, and I know it feels refreshing to you, but probably you don't realize how many impressions you've been making along with some of these other coaches in our area.
Well, the kids have just done a great job representing the sport, and me being from the 60s and 70s, I did not have the opportunities. I played sports, and these girls have had great opportunities, and they've taken advantage of them.
All right, we're with Dave Pedri from Luzerne County, and Dave, let's talk about this day and honoring these Olympians here.
Sure. I mean, really what it comes down to is these are amazing individuals who worked hard, who are dedicated, who are committed. They worked incredibly hard here in Luzerne County, and we should celebrate them, and we honor them here today.
Talk about all the positives that you're trying to do, and hopefully a lot of other people will try to do about young ladies like this and then our future, which is what we have to look forward to in the years to come here.
We're doing some great things here in Luzerne County. This is the future. This is where I choose to be. This is where I choose to raise my children. This is an amazing place to live. We have to make our dedication right here, and it's people like these fine Olympians that make it a better place, and we're honored to have them here today.
All right, we're with Ann Sharkey, and Ann, let's talk a little bit about Kat and when she first got involved with field hockey. How did it happen?
Well, her older sister Laura, who is 4 years older, was playing field hockey actually at the lower school. And Laura needed a partner in the backyard to practice her shots. And Kat was in 4th grade, and she said, "Kat, come on out here and help me out with my practice. And this is how you hold a stick. And you just do this, and I want you to volley back and forth with me." And Kat was exposed to a lot of different sports growing up, and she actually kind of liked this. She liked the idea of running around with the ball, trying to get the ball on the ground and get it into the cage. So she was enrolled in Kim Barbacci's summer camp prior to 7th grade when she was going to start at seminary, and she loved it, and I think Kim might have recognized something in her and thought, okay, this is one to watch. And Kat developed over the next 2 years, and when she became a freshman at Wyoming Seminary Upper School, she actually made the varsity team as a starter. So it was exciting, and that's how she was exposed to the sport, and we're grateful to that.
We heard what the ride's like for the young ladies, your daughter and Kelsey and Paige, but what's it like for the parents? Talk about that pinch me part of my daughter made it. She did it. I don't know how she did it, but she did it.
Well, we know it's a long road. They just didn't start 5 months prior to the Olympics to train for this, so they started back in 2013 training for this with tournaments along the way. And at the World Cup, when they finished 4th, we were very amazed and thought, my goodness, it's the World Cup, and they came in 4th, and maybe she has a shot at making the Olympic team, the Olympic travel team. And And we were on pins and needles, especially the year before when she had the broken ankle. That was crushing. We didn't know whether she was going to come back from that. And she was very determined to follow the directions of her doctors and with the rehab, which was grueling. And she did that herself with hard work. And then, you're not an Olympian until you step on the field. And that first game against Argentina, she did not start. And so we had a few anxious minutes. It's like, okay, it'll be coming shortly. And it was like a sigh of relief, like, wow, she's made it to the pinnacle of the sport. And we do pinch ourselves because it's hard to wrap our head around. It really is. But for Kelsey and Kat, it's just been an amazing journey, and we're very happy for them and proud that they represented our country.
All right, we're with Doreen Kolojejchick and Kelsey K's mom. And Doreen, for you, talk about this ride for your daughter, and then when she first started playing sports, and what you saw out there, like all those parents. Hey, my kid's the best. Everybody says that.
Oh,
but
yeah,
what was it like for you, just kind of seeing her develop, and then somehow finding field hockey?
Well, it was very interesting, and I miss it. I have to tell you, I miss it. I wish I could have it all back, but yeah, it started really early with the soccer team, and I think maybe she was about eight or 9, and it started really with soccer, and then gravitated to this great group of girls that played soccer together. And one of the girls, who was Kelsey Lloyd's older sister, Sam, played field hockey, and started kind of putting a stick in everybody's head and said, try this sport instead. And I thought, oh, okay, Kelsey tried it, and now at soccer they were awesome. I mean, this little group of girls were winning, never knowing what field hockey was going to bring, but they actually loved it even more, and they started running with it. And there was this, in U.S. hockey, it's called Futures, this whole dimension that they got introduced to, and from that point, it just started, you just keep going up the pipeline, and they were recognized and noticed. And you're right, everybody thinks their daughter is, the best, but this little group, and my daughter was one of them, really were the best. They were an amazing group of young women that started off playing soccer and gravitated to field hockey.
The whole ride, North Carolina and national championship, and this whole Olympic ride, asking Kat's mom kind of, I'm sure there's times you're like, is this real? Is this really happening right now?
I thank my daughter every day for allowing us to be a part of this whole journey and experience, because without her we would have not traveled all over the world, and we have with this field hockey journey. And then the Olympics was the climax. It was the ultimate. I can't tell you until you're there. You just will not understand until you're there the kind of experience it was. It was fabulous. We interacted with other athletes and their families. We got to know them. There's a Procter & Gamble house that houses all of the athletes and their families. We got to meet them, talk with them, experience the same things, went to their games, got to know them. And then we're a part of our own team and all the greatness that came with all of the exhilaration of their winning and meeting them after the game to cheer them on and congratulate them. Seeing Rio, because Rio was fabulous, and I would probably never have gotten there other than this Olympic experience. Going to the beach that I said I was never going to, I was like so fearful about the whole thing. It was tremendous.
Ladies, a lot to be thankful for. Just talked to both of your moms. Let's first talk about the thankfulness part of your families and what it means to you.
Yeah, I mean, our parents have literally been with us there every step of the way. I mean, when we first started playing the sport, they would drive us like multiple hours at 5 o'clock in the morning to training sessions, and they would just do anything for us to help us reach our goal of making the national team and playing in the Olympics. So I just think we're both so appreciative, and Kelsey and I have been playing together for so long that her parents are such supporters of me as well, and mine are of Kelsey. So just great to have that support system in the stands at the games.
Yeah, I can just reiterate on just those 5 a.m. wake-up calls to drive us there'd be like a group of us to go down to Futures down in Downingtown, and that was just the start of all of our journeys. And they wouldn't miss it for a beat, it was just like the most amazing thing. They were always there to motivate us. If there were times where we were down and didn't want to play anymore, they would just give us those little pep talks and, give us some tough criticism every once in a while. So it was those type of things that we grew and kept building off of that made us the athletes we are today. So without our parents, we definitely wouldn't be Olympians. So it's awesome.
And then going over to Coach Klassner, Coach Barbacci, Wyoming Seminary, talk about that whole thing and getting you to the point of where you made it as Olympians.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel so lucky to have had them as coaches. They completely shaped me into the field hockey player I am today. I mean, the skills that I developed in high school, the work ethic, and just like the lessons of an athlete that I learned playing for their program just propelled me to college and to the national team. And I just feel so lucky to, have played for them. And the program is so well known that so many great athletes have come from seminary and gone on to great things like Kelsey. So.
Yeah, it's just awesome. The program speaks for itself, and the coaches have been there throughout all the state championships, so obviously they're doing an amazing job, and we're really grateful that we were able to be a part of it. Kim and Klaas have just been there supporting us, but really when we were there, just like Kat said, our work ethic, like Kim had to stick it to us every once in a while, and Klaas was always there to be the mediator, but she really gave us like the valuable lessons and like gave us great tips and pointers that we still use today. So without them, again, we wouldn't be here.
It's been an honor covering Kat Sharkey and Kelsey Kolojejchick over the years. Two young ladies that really grew up in the sport of field hockey and, of course, representing Luzerne County and northeastern Pennsylvania, of course, the Wyoming Seminary field hockey programs as well. Here on the John Mendola Show, we are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.